welcome to my tools and sketchbook tour. I have some specific tools that I use pretty often, kind of just the same ones over and over again. So welcome. This is probably my first YouTube video. I'm Quetzal-chan, or Marisa. Welcome to my video. Here are the tools that I use for sketching. These are the tools that I use typically when sketching or painting. I've got this little tub where I put all of my pencil shavings for whatever reason. I started a long time ago and I guess never stopped. So here are my tools, my sketchbook, my watercolor palette, which I have stuck down to the table with my kneaded eraser. Yeah, so here's my tools. I use this little stand. It's magnetic. It opens up and folds up depending on how you want to use it. Here's the magnet side. So here it is opening up. Magnet side goes here. You can stand it up here. If your phone's a little too heavy, it tips it over. So I tend to just keep it folded inward this way. And I kind of tuck it under my sketchbook while I'm drawing or painting or whatever it is. This is my cheat sheet kind of palette for my watercolors. I kind of made it myself from like 3 different brands. These are Pentel water brushes. I use these pretty exclusively. I do have paintbrushes, but these I use the most. And then I use Micron number 1 normally, sometimes the 001, sometimes the 05. It just depends. And then I use coal erase pencils. I use a lighter and then a darker one. The lighter one to do the rough sketch, the darker one to do the darker sketch. Here are my erasers. I've got a pencil eraser. I've got the Staedtler eraser. I got a sharpener. I've got kneaded erasers. Yeah, that's the stuff I use typically. Here I am. This is where I put my shavings in. Again, not really sure when I started that, but I don't know. Now I do it. I don't stop. This is my water bowl. This is my sketchbook. That's typically what I use. All right, well, let's jump on into it. This is my sketchbook. I've had this one for too long. I was working on some Lord of the Rings ideas. This one I have from back in 2024. And then I kind of jumped into Inktober and did some themed ones. Gerudo wearing a backpack. Here's Riju from Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom. Did the Master Sword. There's a light sketch versus an inked sketch. Didn't really like this page. I was like fighting art block for some reason, and it just, no, not very good. The next page were more sketches. I was kind of about, I started practicing some dragon hands, some elves, you know. Then I started working on some wings. Mind you, I skipped a few months and, you know, started drawing again in 2025. Here's some dragon ideas I had. Mermaids. I tend to draw a lot of mermaids. Ignore this page. More fantasy creatures, dragons. Again, I have a lot of dragon ideas. I just don't usually get them down. Here I'm practicing lizard anatomy, snake anatomy. More dragon ideas. Here I made some wyverns, wyvern heads. Most of the sketches I do in coal erase first. Then I either line them or I don't. Oh, the baby there. That's supposed to be my baby. Here's some more elves. I was finally out of my art block. More elves. Here I had an idea for like a woodland type of elf. And then I made him into a actual rogue elf, ranger type situation. Again, more ideas. The poses weren't coming out the way I wanted to. So I kept going at it. Finally came up with a pose I liked. So I redid him completely. This is my dragon sorcerer. Different poses, different outfits, and then different colors. I preferred the blue over the red. I just thought it kind of meshed better. More mermaid poses. Once again, coal erase mainly. Sometimes I use microns to line them. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I mess with color and I add some watercolors to my sketches. That last blue one I did make into an actual piece. That one, I've got a few more ideas for dragons. I need to actually put them on paper. Some more elves, more wyverns. I was drawing a lot of wyverns for a little bit. Some more elves, mermaids, a lot of pose practice. I made one of those into an actual piece. Want to do something with him. Haven't done anything yet. Some arcane sketches. I was watching Arcane with my husband. Pose practice. These from memory. These from Pinterest. I still want to make an actual piece from the dragon on the right hand side. This one I was going to make something out of him. Never finished it. Bad page. Don't like it. Here more ideas. Fairy poses. And then I was drawing Quetzal, and I forgot to turn the page around, so it's upside down. Here's some color swatches for my ideas, some written out ideas, some Instagram prompts, which was kind of a cool idea to do. Pinterest decides what I draw or something like that. Some more poses, just practicing. I don't draw legs very often, so I was practicing my legs. And then I decided I was going to redraw my fairy, and here she is. I'm doing different swatches, different ideas for coloring, and right here was the final decision on her. I ended up changing it a little bit for the final piece, but yeah, that's the end of my sketchbook. Yeah, that sketchbook I've had for a full year. Normally it doesn't take me that long to start and end one, but this one it took me a while, what with postpartum of 2 little ones. Yeah, so 2024 to 2025, I'm on to my next sketchbook. And yeah, I guess that's it. Bye-bye.